Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. So I can't get on any live recordings. I can't get on my computer. I was just sitting outside actually looking at the moon, and I felt called to do a reading just to kind of see what you guys are up to, and I kind of wanted to go through the tarot with you. It's pretty late, so I'm probably going to catch everybody tomorrow. But I just kind of wanted to go through the tarot cards with you. I was looking up at the sky and I was seeing the moon and everything, and I was remembering, you know, the moon's going to go through Sagittarius. It's going to be a full moon in Sagittarius, and I was like, wow, this is a really cool moon. And it got me to thinking about all kinds of spiritual stuff. And basically, everyone, you have Jupiter in Sagittarius. Everyone's a little bit more spiritual. Everyone's a little bit more into learning about Hermetic teachings, esoteric teachings, spiritual things, secret things, hidden knowledge, how to heal your body. Everyone's wanting to learn about reincarnation, enlightenment, balance, everything to do with spirituality and the ascension path, the journey of the soul. The journey of the soul. And it got me to thinking about the path of your soul through the tarot and what that means. And I kind of wanted to go through it with you guys because it's really interesting how you can see your spiritual journey through tarot. And you know, it's not just cards, it's not just a fun little game here. This is a spiritual teaching. It's a tool to reflect and look into deeper truths about you and your soul and your loved ones. And now that the full moon is going to be into Sagittarius, you are, every single one of you, especially with Jupiter and Saturn in the same sign with Sagittarius, you're all going to be feeling that pressure to learn more. Thank you so much for your super chat. So let's go ahead and dive into a little spiritual knowledge tonight. Let's talk about the tarot. Let's go through every card of the tarot. All 78 cards. There's 22 major arcana. I just love the number 22. It talks about partnership. If you think about the tarot with the twin flame journey, 2-2, it's about coming together. 11-11 is the 22 major arcana. 11 masculine, 11 feminine. The major arcana coming together. The doorway into the path of the spiritual journey. And all the minor arcana are all the little steps that the soul takes. You both take them together. You know, 11-11, 22 major arcana. You both go through this journey together, but in some very masculine ways and some very feminine ways. And you're meant to balance. You're meant to balance the entire way. And so let's kind of just start diving into the tarot. And you know what? As I go through the tarot, let's see what message unfolds from start to finish. Maybe it will tell your story. Let's see. All right, so what does this Sagittarius full moon energy want to teach us tonight about the tarot? What's the first card you want to talk about? I wonder if I should talk about in order. Do you guys want me to go in order? Because I can go in order if that's easier, or I can just do it as the cards come out. What do you guys feel more comfortable with? Queen Angel, you like it better in order? In order. Okay, well, let me go ahead and get them in order then real quick. Let's see. Okay. So just hang out with me. Give me a moment, please, while I get everything in order. Get all my swords in order. Get all my major arcana in order. Okay. So how are you guys doing tonight? I hope you guys are doing good. Guys doing good? Please, whoever's new and chiming in, please let them know what we're doing so they're not lost. For everyone who's still watching. Okay. So yeah, I was really feeling excited about this because I'm a Sagittarius rising. So I'm really happy about this full moon being in Sagittarius. I'm like, wow, we're going to be learning so much about spirit, about our path, about our journey. I'm so excited because I feel like I am ready to learn. I feel like I'm excited and it's like my first day of school. Like, I just want to go learn. I want to learn as much as I can. So it's pretty exciting. What is this, the Knight of Wands? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, please fill everybody in, guys, whoever's still watching. Takes a minute to get it in order. Trying to get them all in order here. Okay. So let's get them all in order. Okay, so I'll start with the Major Arcana, get those in order. Whoops. Okay. And I'll be using, what is this tarot deck? This is, if anybody's curious, the Silver Witchcraft Tarot is the deck I'll be using, okay? So let's start. Come on, where's my Fool? There he is. So we start with the Fool, then comes the Magician, then comes the High Priestess, then comes the Empress, if I can find her here. Thought I just saw her. Okay, so then comes the Empress. Okay. Thank you so much for your super chat. You're a doll. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Okay. So then comes the Emperor, if I can find him in here. Where are you, Mr. Emperor? Can you guys hear me okay? Just want to make sure you guys hear me okay. Okay. Well, I'll show you as I go along. I don't have to keep showing you. Okay, there's the Hierophant. Where are you, sir? Okay, where's my Hierophant? There he is. And the Lovers, where are you? The Chariot, where are you? There you are. Okay, let's see, there's Strength, there's the Hermit. Okay. There's the Wheel of Fortune, Justice. Okay. And then we have Judgment, where is that? No, that's not it. The Hanged Man. Almost done, guys. It just takes a moment, sorry. And we have Death. Where's Temperance? It's Temperance. And we have the Devil card. Okay. And then we have, where is it? Is it the Moon? I think the Moon comes before. Hang on. Nope, it's after. What am I missing here? Okay. The Tower, then the Star. Then Star, then the Moon. Yep, then the Sun, then Judgment, then the World. Okay, yeah, that's right. I think that's in order. Okay. All right. Then I'm sorry guys, this is just taking a moment. Just hang out, guys, and talk for a minute. I'm actually going to be going through the tarot with you guys. I'm just trying to get I got the Major Arcana in order, now I have to get the Minor. So just give me a momento. Okay, that's the Pentacles. Missing my 9. Okay, 10. Page. Knight. Queen, King. Okay, there's the cups. Trying to hurry, guys. Trying to hurry. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to start, and we'll see how the story unfolds, huh? But let's just see. We're going to start with the Fool card. Okay, so we're just kind of going through like a walk through the tarot together spiritually. I'm not really teaching the tarot. I'm just walking through it with you. I want you guys to always look at the pictures of every single tarot deck. Let me get the microphone closer so you can hear me. Whoops. Seriously, if it's not stuck in my bra. Okay. So I want you to look at every single tarot card and acknowledge all the little details, because every tarot artist is going to have a different picture. So the first thing, I always look at with tarot is, hey, what's going on with the background? What's going on with the picture? There's some kind of colors going on. There's a picture of a situation. There's a meaning deeper than what is textbook tarot. So always look at that. But the Fool is actually the beginning of consciousness. So it is a soul, is what it represents, a single soul, a zero. Neither male nor female, neither awake nor asleep. It's just before consciousness. It's coming into existence and coming into being. So the soul is literally like a spark of life, a fresh new beginning, a start, a beginning. It's the beginning of the journey. And the Fool takes a leap of faith, generally textbook tarot, leap of faith. But more than that, when he jumps off the cliff, he's leaving a security into getting out of his own comfort zone, taking that big jump into the unknown, into the unconscious, to the subconscious. It could be to the conscious if someone is already in the subconscious. It's just getting out of what you know. It's a new beginning. It's a new way of thinking, being, breathing, living, acting, and doing. And the sign, represented by this card is Aries. So Aries is here. This is the leader. Okay. And he's going to lead the zodiac signs, right? He's the first. Aries is the god of war. He's the first sign in the 12 zodiac signs. So he's the beginning of the circle of life. And keep in mind the circle of life, because as above, so below, as within, so without. As it begins, it will end. The story of reincarnation. So this soul is taking a leap down into the third dimensional reality, leaving a higher dimension, coming down here into Earth to explore, what does this third dimension have to offer? What lessons does this have to offer? Okay, and so the Fool card, we have a dog. Usually it's a little white dog. The white represents purity. Okay, honesty. It represents, ignorance is bliss. You don't know anything yet. You've never been tarnished. You don't know the crisis. You don't know the pain. You don't know the suffering. You don't know any of that yet. You're brand new. You've never been damaged. It's a fresh start. There's nothing being held on to here. Now, it's ironic because in the tarot, the Fool usually carries this little knapsack. Okay, right there. And that generally represents karma. Because remember, every time you're reincarnated into this life, you are coming with a bag of karma. You come with Ketu, the south node of the moon. You come in with a little bit of karma you're going to have to pay back. You don't know what it is. You're trying to figure it out, but you have to bring it with you. And the goal is to lose it in the end, not to have it with you when you go. You pay off your karmic debt through this life, okay? So that's the Fool card. A brand new beginning, a fresh new start. It's usually supposed to be happy because ignorance is bliss. And the flower just represents purity, excitement, truth, beauty. The beauty of having a fresh start is really invigorating. And it's like smelling fresh flowers. It's a wake-up call. Sometimes the Fool card can be a wake-up call. Okay, you're aware, taking that leap of faith from the unconscious to the conscious, wake-up call. So it can be viewed as that sometimes. And the Fool's obviously young, but it just means a young soul as far as the physicality of it goes. But we all know that old souls are reincarnated all the time. And you know, the dog represents a companion, which, in my opinion, in tarot, this is not textbook, but in my opinion, in tarot, it's the Holy Spirit. It's your consciousness. Like, not your consciousness. I didn't mean to say that. I meant to say your conscience. Okay, it's your conscience. This is a gift from Spirit. You're never alone. You come on this earth in the physical, you take that leap, but you're not alone. You have a friend. You have the Holy Spirit. You have a guide. You have something with you from the other realm guiding you. Okay, this is a little guide. And sometimes we find these guides through our pets. Okay, it's symbolic. Man's best friend. Sometimes you'll want a companion, you'll want a pet, but you'll have a guide, okay? And you'll find who that guide is. Sometimes it's a passed on loved one, okay? Sometimes it's a guardian angel. Sometimes it's an ascended master. Sometimes it could be any or all three, but you're not alone. And Spirit's saying just because you're taking a leap of faith from another realm to another realm doesn't mean I'm going to send you off on your way with nothing. I'm going to send you here on earth with some wisdom, your inner knowing, your intuition, and a spirit guide. You're going to have help. You're not here alone. You just feel that way. You feel naked. You feel a little bit out of your element, okay? Let's keep going. So the next one, I'm going to start from the top. The next one is the Magician. You're welcome, guys. Okay, so the Magician is, in the zodiac signs, usually stands for Virgo and Gemini. The reason behind that is because Virgo, in my opinion, is working with the hands. It's a physician, the healer. Virgo generally represents healers, doctors, nurses, physicians, people that are able to heal people of their body, their illnesses, their sicknesses. It deals with health, okay? And Gemini is about communication. And Gemini is about dual personalities. And that's why Virgo, Gemini, the Magician can sometimes come across a little bit either sly or very knowledgeable. You know, it's a little dual energy here. And that Virgo energy is Gemini. So you're both working together here. Now, the Magician usually comes in with roses, which represents passion. There's one thing that inspires this Magician, and it's beauty. It's beauty. It's a zest for life. It's excitement. It's action. This is a very curious card. Someone who really wants to take action. It's, above all else, the Magician card represents action. Okay, and sometimes the Magician can represent someone kind of like the Leo, someone that shows off, someone that performs in front of people. The Gemini, the Virgo, the Magician, illusion. Someone that could be like me on here on a YouTube channel, talking with you guys, discussing things, showing things off, using their hands. Classic Virgo, Gemini right here. I don't have Virgo in my chart, but just saying, Gemini and Virgo both represent the hands. Okay, hands-on. So the Magician's hands-on. He gets his hands dirty. He gets information from above, Okay, infinite wisdom and knowledge. And he uses it here on earth. He takes it into action and creates. So he's a creator. And just like any doctor, he can heal, he can create, he can be an artist. Okay, the magician can be an artist. The magician can be an excellent chef. The magician can be an excellent masseuse. The magician could be a yogi master. The magician can be an excellent salesman, an excellent speaker. The magician can do so many things that inspire others and help this magician to learn and grow. Because remember, this is the beginning of the major arcana. It's just about learning. This person is like in his first year in college. He's taking wisdom and using it and applying it. He's in the midst of being a student. He's learning. He has just begun his journey. So it's like you guys go to class, you get some, interesting knowledge, and you apply it to your life. And that's what happened. Spirit blessed him with all four, elements. You've got the cups, you got the swords, you have the wands, okay, and you have the pentacles. So Spirit kind of had a class time with him. Okay, the universe had some class time. Sit down, magician. Let me teach you about these things. Let me teach you about the elements. Very alchemical. This is about creation, so it is alchemical. And Spirit's like, let's talk about the cups. Cups are emotions. They're feelings. They're intuition. They're the higher dimensional subconscious. It's where you came from. The cups are where you came from and where you will return. Okay? And the swords are about knowledge, wisdom, communication. Be careful how you use the sword because it's a double-edged. However you pierce someone, it will come back to you. What you say will come back to you. What you speak about, you bring about. What you say, you will create. So the swords is very important for action because whatever you say and think, because the swords also represent the way you think, you're going to create these things. The law of attraction. Okay, we talked about visualization, manifestation. Okay, that's what this is, visualization, manifestation. If you don't pretend that you feel what you're trying to create, it won't happen. If you don't believe, that's why you have the infinity symbol. If you don't believe in yourself and in these materials, nothing will come of it. So the magician knows first, I have to believe. Second, I have to feel in my heart, in my soul, in every bone in my body that what I'm creating is going to happen. Thirdly, I need to take action and use my swords. I have to speak up. I have to speak out. I have to create. I have to use my tongue, my words. I have to use my brain and exercise it and think and learn and grow. And then the next one is the wands. I love the wands because the wands represent faith. They represent your spirituality. They represent how deep is your faith? Where is your foundation in faith? What do you really believe in? Is it powerful? Is it passionate? Is it strong? Do you believe in it with your whole heart? Can you achieve anything without faith? Nothing. So this is about believing forever. Even if you can't see it, you're going to believe it. So the wands represent the faith that you have, the fire in your heart. Okay, this is what pushes you. This is what lights fire under your butt to do things. It's inspiring. And that's why wands represent, creativity. Like the Leo card. So they represent, what is your creativity? What do you think you could create, magician? What do you want to create today? Love? Do you want to create art, music? Do you want to create something beautiful to eat, something beautiful to wear? Do you want to create a new life? Do you want to create, whatever you want to create, guys, okay? You want to create a baby, create a baby. It's like, what do you want to create? And the magician's like, I have an idea. And so the wands are the inspiration through creativity, because the magician's going to do it with whatever makes his heart feel most moved. Okay, so the wands represent that inspiration and creativity and passion. Okay, and then you get the pentacles, and this is about your foundation. What do you believe that you can trust, magician? What do you have absolute trust in? What grounds you? Because it's nice to have fantasy. Cups and wands. It's nice to have fantasy and all these imaginations and creative ideas, but what is actually real? And so the pentacles represent the earth. As above, so below. Usually the magician has the wand pointing straight up to the sky. showing spirit, bless me with divine power, spiritual energy, and bring it down here to earth like a conduit. So the magician is a conduit between heaven and earth, much like the Hierophant. But this is about creation. It's different. And then the pentacles ground him and represent the earth. And it's just like, okay, I am in this body. I am capable of, A, B, and C. These are the elements I have around me. This is what would make me happy here on this earth. I want a nice home. I want a family. I want whatever career. I want to do this purpose with my life. The things that you see, you want to bring into an actual physical manifestation. It's taking all these cups and ideas and thoughts and swords and speaking and creativity and ideas and bringing it into an actual physical form. Totally alchemical card. So the magician is just that. He's creating spirit into physical form. Okay? So, as above, so below. We all have a little bit of God in us, guys. We all have a little bit of spirit in us. We're all capable of creation. And so the magician is the masculine energy for creation. Okay. So when we start tarot, he's the male twin flame, the divine masculine. Can you be a female with this energy? Of course. But it represents the male, the masculine energy. The masculine energy of creation. He starts things. He's the wand. And the one is very phallic. Just the number 1 is phallic. It's about creation. And it's the wand. It gives the seed. Okay? It gives the seed. So the magician is the one that creates the seed. And at this point, he's ready to place the seed somewhere. Where are you going to put your seed to grow it, to manifest it? How's this going to become physical? And that's where the High Priestess comes into play. So now we have the divine feminine energy. Okay, and this is the counterpart of the magician. The original twin flames, the first masculine, the first feminine, both divine masculine, divine feminine. One soul, you see this? Let me hold my microphone here. One soul. Now I get goosebumps because it's so cool. 2 physical forms. Okay? Feminine, masculine. One soul, 2 physical forms. Okay, just wanted to point that out. Okay, so now that I got those there. So here's the High Priestess, and she's coming in. She represents the moon. Okay, she's sitting on the moon. She represents the mind, emotions, feminine spirituality, subconscious, intuition, peace, serenity, silence. If you think about it this way, isn't it funny? Because I'm totally Gemini, I can relate. Geminis are talkers, speakers, salesmen, presenters. Okay? They speak to the world, and the feminine is quiet. She's the yin. She's the complete opposite. Yin, yang. Okay, mirror reflections of each other. You're both high priest, high priestess, but this is quite a different energy. So this feminine is here, and it's just about quiet meditation, spiritual knowing, trust and belief and faith. The 2 pillars represent the feminine energy and the masculine energy. She stands in the doorway between both worlds. Okay, she stands here between her masculine, which is the magician, and the world. She's right there in between the doorway. She's protecting. She's also very much the teacher. Okay, she's a protector and a teacher. She's full of beauty, and she admires loyalty. She admires honesty and integrity. She stands up for the highest good, and she sits between the stars and the earth, much like the magician, as above, so below. Look below her, you see the moon and the stars. And then above her, you see the clouds and the sky. So between night and day, okay, subconscious, conscious. She's your intuition. Okay, just like that little dog there, the intuition. Okay, she's going to guide you quietly in your inner voice, your inner knowing. So when you get the High Priestess, it's all about the inner voice. He's the outer voice. He's what you use to create and speak and do and take action. And she's what you hide inside. She's what you know and you know to be true and what you feel inside yourself to be true. She also holds the Torah, which is the Old Testament, basically, and all the first books of the Bible. Okay, the beginning of time, the teachers that taught about the Watchers, okay, the fallen angels, Adam and Eve, creation, as above, so below, all that information, all the esoteric, hermetic information, everything about Atlantis, everything about Egypt, everything about the ancient world. She has all those knowledge. She has all that knowledge inside of her. The emerald tablets, okay, all of that. She knows everything. I feel, as a reader, she also stands between the doorway of our third dimension and the Akashic records. So I know that she holds the Torah, but for me as a reader, I also see her as holding Akashic records, or Akashic, whatever you want to call those records. But the Akashic records keeps note of everything that happens around you. Everything you do, everything you think about, everything. Everything you were in a past life, everything you will be in your future, and everything you are right now. It's already in the Akashic records. And that's why the High Priestess is also known as a psychic and intuitive. Today, she's also seen as, someone that uses tools of divination, tarot card reading, psychic mediumship, all of those things, all the different senses. So if you pull this card, it's definitely you're dealing with somebody spiritual that can see into another realm. So it's very much that higher power. I also know that in traditional tarot, the two pillars stand for Jobaz and Boaz, which stand for the yes and the no, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, righteousness and, wrong doing, actually. So the balance of nature. So she's a lot like the Justice card. So she comes in a lot like justice, but she stands for more of a spiritual justice. Like, what do you think is morally right? Morally. Justice card comes in, yes, morals are into play with justice, but if you notice the very big difference between justice is blindfolded. Justice is not biased. Justice doesn't take sides. Justice is like karma. She just comes in to charge in with the sword of truth and tell you what is going to happen based on the truth, based on the balance of the scales. The High Priestess kind of comes in and she's like, well, I want to see what's morally right. I'm a little biased. I am going to judge. I am going to test your faith. I am going to see through your heart. I want to know what is morally just right now. I want to see through it all. I want to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I'll make my own assessment here on what is right based on, again, perfect order, balance. Okay? The yin and the yang energy. So these two are a perfect pair. They're coming in together strong and proud. The beginning of creation. The beginning of all that is for the soul. It's the power of your intuition and the power of your consciousness. So like subconsciousness, consciousness. What you speak about, you bring about law of attraction. And this is your inner knowing, your faith system, your beliefs. Okay, so let's keep going. Let me get a drink. Shoot, I woke him up. No, drink your milk and go to bed. No. Stop it. Okay, so the next one is, ironically, the Empress. And right off the bat, the Empress represents Venus. Okay, the planet of love, the planet of balance. Okay, she represents all things that are abundant. Venus represents wealth. Venus in your astrological chart represents your car, ironically. So I'm not saying that Empress represents a car. I'm just saying Venus represents your car. Venus represents the beautiful things in your home. Venus represents the things you like to wear. Venus represents your taste. Okay, your taste in food, your taste in art, your taste in scents like, colognes and perfumes, your preference for everything that is valuable. Venus represents where your value lies. And Venus represents your spouse, because most people value their spouse. So Venus represents your marital partner. Okay. And I will tell you, and you can tell how people, and this is just going to go a little bit off of tarot just for 1 second. You can tell how people are in their Venus, if they're practical or not practical. Like if someone has a Venus in Leo, it's usually not them that's show-offy, but it's their spouse. It's your significant other that really represents your Venus. So say I have a Venus in Leo. I'm not going to be so show-offy. I'm not going to be so into being in the limelight and being out there, but my spouse will. It represents your spouse, their personality. Usually 9 times out of 10, that's how it presents itself. So the spouse, okay? So here she is, and she's married. The Empress is always married, legally bound. She can also represent Taurus and Libra. I also, as a reader, like to say she represents Cancer, because she's a mother, she's pregnant, and the moon represents the cycles of, being young and then being fertile and giving birth and then becoming older. And the Empress represents all 3 women, okay? All 3 feminine energies. So for me, she represents the moon. She represents Cancer energy. So for me as a reader, and Cancer in the zodiac represents the mother of all the zodiac signs. And Cancer is also a cardinal sign. So one of the 4 cardinals. So I very strongly as a reader see her as Cancerian. Okay, but of course Taurus, because of Venus. Venus rules Taurus. That's pretty much the only reason they picked her to be a Taurus, because of Venus. And Venus represents married and spouse and luxury. And as you guys know, Taurus values all those things because it's ruled by Venus. But more than the signs of the zodiac in this card, she represents creation, as far as almost the child of the magician and the High Priestess. It's almost like she's their daughter. Like they were the OG. They were the creators in the beginning, like God. And let's just say the Divine Father, Divine Mother, they kind of represent a higher energy. And here comes, following this is someone that's bringing creation into life. And so I almost feel like through a transformation, these 2 energies are now, merging into the arcana. They're like alchemically being changed into the major arcana, changing energies, like morphing, becoming something else. That's just how I see it as a reader. Now, this is not textbook tarot class. This is just me with you guys hanging out, walking through tarot the way I see it, okay? And so anyways, we have the Empress here. She's pregnant. Usually the Empress in all tarot cards is extremely pregnant. Certainly pregnant. Some tarot she's not, but she's certainly fertile. But it always represents birth. And it represents the cycle of life. And she usually is full of fruit and a very fertile field. And motherly duties. So I'll be right back. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right. So when the Empress comes up in the tarot, she usually has, as you can see on her crown, all 12 stars. which represent all 12 zodiac signs. Again, another reason for me, the mother of the zodiac, Cancerian. I don't know why people tell everybody she's just Taurus. She's obviously Cancerian. But so she's got the 12 stars. And she's Venus. She's the center of all the stars. And Venus is usually seen as the brightest star. And the rabbit, of course, next to her represents fertility. The shield represents protection. She's protected by the emperor. She is protected by the universe. She's in power. And the Empress is very rich, extremely wealthy. This is someone that would own their own empire, obviously. But in real days, real time, someone that is the head of a household. This is why she might own her own business. She's obviously a mother or grandmother. She's the teacher of other feminine energies. She does not get taught. She's already super exceeded all teachings. Okay, she's the one who teaches the queens what they need to know. She's the hierarchy. She's the leader of all the queens. She's the leader of all feminine energy, feelings, empathy, understanding, healing, wisdom, peace, serenity, growth, prosperity, abundance, gifts, fertility, everything you want to come into this world, she's the bringer of it. So when you get the Empress, if she's on your side, she's saying, I will carry your dream. I will carry your prayer full term so you can deliver it. But there is a process. I'll carry it. I'll put it inside me and give you the gift and the birth of your wish, of your dream. But you need to have your intuition and your faith on point. So it's like the magician and the High Priestess are going to give birth through the Empress of their wishes, their creations. The two become one. Okay? And the Empress is going to give birth to their dream, to their empire. But she is the process between thoughts and ideas, reality and subconscious creation. She's the one that's going to carry it into this existence. Very divine feminine power. And it's like all women have the energy and the power to bring life into this world. You carry it within you. So very, very powerful. Women are very blessed to give life and to give birth into this world. And so she's a very blessed being. She gives blessings and nurturing and healing and love and light. She's a guide, okay? But she's also the bringer of everything that is physical in this world. So the nicer things in life, like I said, all the materialistic things in life, she has possession of. Okay, she's got possession of all the gold, all the physical niceties that everybody wants, all the comforts of home. Okay, comforts of home right there in the Empress energy, which is again Taurus, comforts of home. Okay, I'm getting another drink. I need to hurry it up. I may not be able to do all these tonight, guys. I may just be able to get to the major arcana. Okay, the next card, Emperor, obviously. So now we have the Emperor. He is represented by Aries. Okay, the leader, the god of war. He's usually very sexy. The god of war, Mars, represents your sexual drive. Okay, your masculine, your nature. You know, let me just take a moment how to say this correctly. The masculine has the energy to create, like the wand. He wants to give the seed. He wants to be the strength. He's usually carrying the staff, the wand, golden wand. Okay, the Ankh, which is creation. It's the beginning and the end. He is the holder and the foundation of all that is and all that will be. Very godlike energy, and he's powerful, strong, sexy, vibrant. This is your testosterone. This is that strong sexual energy. This is why they always say the emperor is so sexual. The emperor is always coming across, very with that on their mind, very masculine, very, I don't know the right word. I can't think of the right word right now. But she comes in as healing and peace and calmness. He comes in the opposite. The yin and the yang again. He comes in as the complete opposite of the Empress, where she's calm and peaceful and delicate. He comes in fierce, strong, brash, harsh. She comes in giving and graceful. He comes in a little controlling, a little bit demanding. So those energies can be different, obviously. They bring a different element to any tarot card reading. When you get those elements in, they change the whole dynamic of whatever you're reading. These major arcanas really change all the minor arcanas and tell you what they're really about. So the Emperor's coming in here to give stability. He's taking the magician's dream, the Empress's intuition and knowledge of all that is good and right and moral, the Empress's physical giving birth to these realities. He's taking care of it. So the Emperor automatically becomes a caretaker, just like the Empress, but she caretakes the beginning of life. He caretakes throughout life. This is the person that will sustain a business, sustain a family, sustain a home. This is the caretaker. So whenever you get the Emperor, it doesn't always have to represent a person. It represents an energy of looking after people, caring for them. And that's why the Emperor usually is shown taking care of children, looking over an empire, protecting them. He's a leader and a father. She's a mother, he's the father. So he's protective and he's a provider. So he has to keep things stable, grounded. He has to make sure that he's the rock for everybody else. He's the one that carries the burden. The world's on his back. He's the one that's very strong. You have to be strong to do that. He's wise. He represents wisdom. And that's why he's always carrying that golden globe, which represents the sun. It represents wisdom. In my opinion as a reader. And it represents all the power of Zeus, all the power of God, all the power of the universe, all the power of the sun. He has that. He holds the wisdom and the strength for everybody. He's the foundation for the soul, the dreams and the actions, the intuitions, and the very delicate beginnings of life, the creation. He protects them. He is the soldier for the beginning of creation. He's the Emperor. He's the provider. He's the general of the army. He's everything. He's the overseer of all things. So the Emperor comes in as very nice. I like the Emperor. I guess if you were to see him in reverse, you might think he's not in his best light. He's not in his best energy. But when he's upright, very good, very healthy energy. Very loving. This is the man you want to raise you. This is the man you want to go to for knowledge and wisdom. This is the man you go to for help. This is the man you go to for money. This is the person you go to for any advice. The Empress as well. She's the woman you want to go to for advice, for healing. She's the one that you go to and, Divine Mother, I'm suffering. I need you to bring me back to myself. Divine Mother, I need assistance, with my financial business. I need help to grow it. I need to make this into something that I want. Please bring my dream into fruition. Divine Mother, I have a relationship that's suffering. We need healing. Our heart needs to be mended. I'm suffering with jealousy or I'm suffering with illness. Take care of me, heal me, bring me back to life. So you can see how that energy works for the Empress and the Emperor. And you'll go to the Emperor and say, I need protection. I need security. And so that's kind of the energies that I pick up with when I see the Emperor and the Empress. And they're always on a throne because they're always in power. Every one of these major arcanas, usually they're on a throne. They have power, at least the royalty, And they're going to be in control of the reading, in control of the person. This is the main guidance for the person you're reading for. All right, so let's keep going. So then we have the Hierophant, the High Priest. And he's got the 2 keys, which usually represent, and this has been said by many readers, the keys to heaven and earth. As above, so below. So he represents, again, like the High Priestess, he is representing as above, so below, like the subconscious to the conscious, the spiritual to the physical. He also is sitting in front of another doorway, just like the High Priestess. Behind him is the pillars of truth and the doorway. So both him and the High Priestess will resemble in the hierarchy of the yin and yang, divine mother, divine father energy. This is right and wrong, good and evil, divine feminine, divine masculine, the yes and the no. Okay, this represents very deep knowledge, and it's the doorway to truth. And he represents commitment. He is a physical body which inhabits both spirit and physical. So a lot of people believe the high priest or the pope would represent someone that is spirit-filled, someone that is very spiritual, not quite human, but not quite spirit. You know, a lot like Buddha, Jesus, any of the high prophets. You know, it's just represented by the higher being, the best of both worlds, the person that is the in-between. So a leader, a guru, a spiritual teacher. And, you know, and most arcana represents marriage. So they always say, okay, here's another Taurus card. He represents stability and marriage. And that's what Taurus represents, is the house of marriage, the beginnings of your family, the beginnings of your home, the beginnings of, anything solid in your life, what you stand up for. So the Hierophant's like, where's your faith? What do you stand up for? What will you commit to? What kind of purpose are you going to follow? Are you going to follow Buddhism? Are you going to follow Christianity? Are you going to follow Hinduism? Are you going to follow Mormonism? Are you going to follow what? What is your oath? What do you commit to? What are you going to commit to follow? So it has a lot to do with spirituality, but also relationship. Who do you make a promise to? Who do you come in a contract with? Okay. And he also represents the marrying of the twin flames. So he's taking the twin flames and marrying them and saying, you are both one. The yin and the yang. Okay, the masculine and the feminine energy, you are both one. The doorway to this world and the next. And that's a lot of the twin flame journey, you guys. You guys are both going to be one partner, one soul, but you're both two beings and you have one purpose. You're going to commit to each other with your soul contract, like you already did above in another dimension. And you're coming down here to fulfill that soul contract. And the High Priestess is here to remind you where your loyalties lie, where your contract lies, your purpose, your journey, and your soul's commitments. So he's here to show you, what do you commit to? Who are you committed to? Where do your commitments lie? What's important to you? And what do you value? Again, that Taurus energy is Venus. What do you value? Because whatever you value, you will stay very committed to. Committed to your job, committed to your spouse, committed to your spirituality, whatever it is, that's your commitment. There's a lot more to it, but I'm just kind of trying to quickly just hang out with you and just talk about how I see the tarot. The red to me seems to represent passion. Okay, passion and leadership. And the Pope or the High Priest, Buddha, whoever you want to see, is obviously very passionate about spirituality. I can't talk today. Passionate about spirituality. Passionate about love. Passionate about things that have a deep meaning. Esoteric knowledge. And he represents a guide. You're being guided. You have to have faith and trust. I love that. I just love that he brings, and look at the keys in this one, it's so cool. There's a key with the moon and the stars, and there's a key with the sun. Again, it's just that masculine, feminine energy. You see that? The feminine is obviously the moon and the stars, and the masculine is the sun. So the marrying of them together, the bringing together and the power that it has. And 5 represents divine change. So this is kind of like, you know that saying, like, well, it's not really a saying, but you know when people get married, sometimes they have those little cups of sand. I don't know what they call that. But when you pour the sand together when you're getting married, you know how that when you pour the sand together, it becomes one. You can't take it apart. There's no way you could separate the sand. There's no way. Because once you put all those little black grains of sand and the white grains of sand together, and you pour them together and you marry them, you can't take it apart. It's done. You're married, you're bound, you're mixed in together. That's it. And that's why the good old saying in the Bible, let no man take apart what God brings together. And that's why it represents the marriage, because it's an alchemical, spiritual, divine marriage of two energies, masculine and feminine energies. What? Obviously, he's having a hard time sleeping because he's sick. Hang on, guys. You want more milk? Or do you want to lay over here on this pillow? Okay, lay your head on the pillow. I'll get you milk. Okay. You gotta hurry it along here. Okay. So the blending together of two energies, and you cannot separate them. But this probably gets confusing for you when you're reading and you're picking up some of these cards for karmic energy, and you're like, well, if you can't separate, can you not separate the karmic energy if the Hierophant comes in? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it just represents a commitment, a contract, and a marriage of two energies. Something that was bound, and a lot of times that can be karmic as well in certain readings, okay? Because when you get involved with someone, even karmically, you're obviously bound. There's some kind of karmic contract, the same way there is a spiritual contract. Sometimes we have multiple contracts and you have to fulfill them. So sometimes when you do, karmic readings and you get this, there is a karmic contract. There is an oath. There is a promise. There is something that must be fulfilled before it can change. Okay, but the 5 represents change. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the full doesn't count because it's 0. So it's 5 after the full. So something is changing. The full is changing. The full's going to become into another energy. And, next is going to be the Lover's card. And that is the marriage of those two souls. Because the sun, I can't even talk today for Pete's sake. The Fool card becomes two people. The feminine, the lover feminine, the divine feminine, and the divine masculine. So as I told you, the way I see tarot, he's merging. He's becoming these things. He's transforming and becoming. And then once he hits to the 6, to the Lover's card, he becomes, his soul gets split into 2. And that's the soul contract. That's the merging. That's the transformation. That's the divine change. That's the contract. That's the soul agreement that the twin flames make before they come down, here into spirituality and into this agreement. So let's see what's going on with that. Here's the Lovers. I love this card. There's an angel. Okay. So that's usually Raphael, the angel Raphael, who rules the heart and the healing of energies. And there's the 2 humans. There's the 2 people that are one soul. That are split into 2 people. One soul became 2 beings, feminine and masculine, the twin flames, the divine lovers. I love all this transformation and how it became in balance with the 6. Okay, the 3 and the 3, the 6. I just love how it intertwined all these energies and made them into one. But they're two people. You know, it's a choice. It's that contract. That's how I see it as a reader. I am not teaching a channel on textbook tarot. I'm not even teaching. I'm just hanging out with you guys, showing you how I view the tarot, how I'm able to do my readings, the way I see it, okay? So I don't want any judgments about, I'm a professional tarot card reader and this is what the textbook says. Look, guys, I'm not stupid. Plus, I have all the books that come with the tarot. I'm not stupid. If I wanted to read what these cards meant verbatim from the tarot books, I'd read them to you from the book. I'm not doing that. I'm talking about my intuition and what I see. So anyways, the soul is coming in now split into 2 bodies, and they're literally the yin and the yang here on earth, and they've gone through a soul contract, and they've decided to go through a journey together, and we're going to start seeing what that journey is through the major arcana. What are we going to go through as 2 souls? What are we going to learn? Are you going to be the light, or are you going to be the dark? Are we going to switch this time? Am I going to teach you forgiveness this time? Am I going to teach you love this time? Am I going to teach you, to stand up for yourself this time? What are your lessons? You guys keep reincarnating. You know the lessons. You guys keep finding each other lifetime after lifetime. You know what you're here. You know what you're here for. What you want to learn and what you want to do. And the magician knows that. The High Priestess knows that. The Empress is making that happen. And the Emperor is bringing you a foundation. It's like they're your teachers. It's almost like grandpa, grandma, mother, father. And this is you. Okay? I don't know. That's just how I see it. It's coming down the line, and here you are. Here you are. You're here to learn and grow through love. And that's why I say on this twin flame journey, guys, you're not going to be a twin flame with your brother, with your cousin, with your neighbor, with your dog, okay? You're not going to be a twin flame with your bestie. This is something that you're going to share with someone you love intimately, someone that you want to open your heart to, someone that you want to have a contract with, someone that you are meant to bond with sexually, intimately, spiritually. And we've talked about that through the chakras. We talked about the lower chakras that are masculine and the higher chakras that are feminine. We talked about how you're going to blend these energies, okay, to become one, to have balance, so you can learn and grow and be wonderful and be a light in this world and do beautiful things together, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and see what else is popping up for you. The Lover's card stands for the Gemini energy. Okay, so Gemini, dual, the twins, twin flames. All right, so we've got the Lover's card. Let's get next. We have the Chariot. This stands for Cancer energy, Cancerian. This stands for victory, success, and divine accomplishment. It's about being confident, going forward, really happy, following your destiny. It's like you're so excited. You know, it's the wedding chariot, okay? You guys are going on this together. Okay, the black horse represents the divine feminine. The white horse represents the divine masculine energy. Again, night and day. Do you see the consistency in the tarot? Night and day, day and night, day and night, and then night and day. You just see the consistency. And even in the Fool card, day and night. It's always yin and yang, day and night, masculine, feminine. It's going to be that way throughout the tarot. So it's always about the perfect balance, the twins throughout the tarot. And so here's this chariot moving forward in the stars. This is literally your guide. You're the guide is what I'm trying to say. You're the decider of how you want to take forward on this journey. The chariot can represent a vehicle in tarot card reading too. Sometimes a car, okay? The chariot could be a car. Fast moving action. And so usually it's the two people here going forward on their path together. You don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're going, but you're moving forward. And you're in a good path. You're on your path. You're not off of it. You're going where you're supposed to be going. You're aligned with your soul, and you're excited. It's a very happy energy. And 9 times out of 10 in every reading, the Chariot represents happy, success, and victory, confidence. Confidence moving forward. Someone that has hope. Okay, and this is just, the Cancerian, the mothering energy of nurturing your soul. It kind of means, so since you're loving your soul and you're doing the work, you're moving forward. Since you're taking care of your home and family and life, you're moving forward. Everything's in order. You're balanced. The 7 is a very spiritual number. It represents divine blessings, divine authority, divine knowledge, divine intervention. It's a God number. It's a spirit number. So I love that 7. It's just a very passionate, lucky number. And you're moving forward. So it's a very happy card. If you get this card in a reading, be happy. The Chariot's there. Nothing's stagnant. Everything's moving forward, and you're aligned with your path. That's what that means. Okay. The next one, Strength card. A lot of people's favorites. So we've got the Leo energy. Okay. And this is about overcoming obstacles. It's also about calming your shadow side. It's about taming the beast within. And I've also seen it as the twin flames taming each other, mellowing each other out. You both have shadow sides, and you're both mellowing each other's out. Okay, and so the lion represents the masculine, and this is like the Empress. Okay, she represents the divine feminine. Okay, masculine, feminine. And here you guys are overcoming the obstacles in your life. You have the strength and the power and the courage. And this is again like a success. And this is again a union card for me. As a tarot card reader, me personally, not everybody, but for me, this is about controlling the dynamics of hardships. You're the strength here. Okay, it's the strength card. If anyone's telling anyone what to do, it's you. There's no one overpowering you. Now, if this is in reverse, it means you're being overpowered. Someone's harming you. Someone is not allowing you to be who you need to be. Someone is preventing you from going through with what you need to be. And you're not standing up for yourself. You're not strong enough. This is being strong, standing up for yourself, overcoming the dark. This is also about loving the dark parts of yourself. If there's something about you that happened, that made you doubt yourself or have fear, this is conquering it. It's conquering your fears. And this is about the power of 2. Okay, so I like to see this, the masculine, feminine, the power of 2 coming together, 2 energies committed, and it's like you stand your ground as a team. Teamwork, strength. I love to see strength as teamwork. And that's why in my personal tarot deck, strength card actually has the 2 of them hugging each other and holding each other's hearts, and she's kissing him and telling him it's going to be okay, opening his mind, and he's opening his heart. So I just see you guys really loving each other through thick and thin. Okay? And I honestly see faith. But this is kind of a show-off energy, because the Cancerian card comes out confident. And then the Strength card comes out a little show-offy. Okay? Presenting the power. So when you get Strength, it's like, hey, look at me. You see how powerful I am? Yeah. The Chariot brought it, but I'm going to show it off. So it's a little bit of arrogance sometimes too. Okay? Let's get the next card. The Hermit. For me as a tarot card reader, Sagittarius. Traditional tarot, it's Virgo. So I usually say both, Virgo or Sagittarius, the 9th house. And that's a very special card for me, because the Sagittarius card represents spiritual wisdom, spiritual knowledge, your spiritual teachings, your higher knowledge, everything that your soul is supposed to learn to the highest effect possible in a physical body. And so it usually represents an elderly man who's been on the journey for a long time. And usually he's alone, he's in the cold, He's high up on a mountain. He could also be seen very much as a Capricorn, because that is the Capricorn energy right here, alone high on a mountain, seeking the highest knowledge, finding the truth, and then coming back down the mountain to bring the truth to everybody else. So very Capricorn, very Sagittarius, and Virgo. Virgo is an excellent student, which is why they chose him for this card. Virgo is someone that can defeat enemies with knowledge, and very much like a lawyer, And so here's the Hermit alone, very strong, but it's also very quiet, very humble energy. He resembles the High Priestess a lot for me as a reader. Someone who has an inner knowing, doesn't talk about it, doesn't have to show it off, just knows in his heart, in his gut, in his soul what he should be doing and where he needs to go. It's like, I don't have a map, but I have this lantern. I have faith, and I'm following the star, like the 3 wise men following the star to find Jesus in the stable. The Hermit follows the star to find his guidance, to find his truth, to find his wisdom. And you have to go on this journey alone. And this is where the two separate. You see, here they are coming together, 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 together. Now the twins are separating. They have to go alone. They have to go alone. There's some things on this journey, separation will only teach you. Or how should I say, there's some things only separation and being alone will teach you. You can't learn everything together. And so this is a very lonely energy. It's solemn. It can be seen as sad, but it can also be seen as serious, critical, very curious, very, very curious, asking a lot of questions, but not to other people, to spirit and to self. So it's a journey into the soul. It's like here you kind of aren't paying attention to the soul. You're really into the third dimension. You kind of forgot what was going on before this life. The fool, once the fool jumped over the cliff and went into the consciousness, he forgot his past life. He forgot a lot of that knowledge he was carrying in that bag. And it's like now the Hermit is trying to rediscover the past life, rediscover your soul's purpose. Figure out there's a deeper meaning to this life than relationship and then love, than money and power. There's more to this life than all of that. And, to be honest, some of these cards represent what the Magician manifested. The Magician manifested the Ace of Cups. Love, marriage, relationship, happiness, emotional fulfillment. He also manifested power and strength. Okay? That Wands energy, which is very much, like the Emperor. Power, strength, sexuality. Just all that power and authority. Okay? He also represented wisdom, okay, intuition, knowledge, which is the swords, kind of represents the High Priestess, in my opinion as a reader, okay? Someone who knows a lot, very, very wise. And he also manifested the Pentacle, which was wealth and abundance and, all this prosperity, which is the Empress. She represents all that, wealth, prosperity, and abundance, riches. So he's found everything he wanted, okay? And he's been committed to it. He jumped into it. He's committed to it. He wants that, and he's ready to hang on to it. He's going on confident, thinking this is all I need. Everything I manifested, that's all I need. And he's very powerful. He feels like I'm in control of my life. I'm making my decisions. I'm creating. I'm powerful. I've done all these great things. But once he's gotten here, it's that figure 8. It's the infinity symbol. Doing the same thing over and over again. Hoping for a different result that you're never going to find. It can be insanity. Sometimes if you had to redo this relationship over and over and over again, never learning anything new, never growing, never finding any deeper meanings, it would be pointless. It would make you insane. And so the Hermit is telling the Fool, hey, there's more to life than love. There's more to life than money. There's more to life than power. And there's more to life than knowledge. There's something else out there for you. There's something else. What is it? What is this? And so he has to go through the further arcana to figure out, what is this? What else is there? Well, let's figure it out, says the hermit. Because there's things you can learn and grow with. There's things you can do for other people. It's not just about you and your lover. There's things that the other parts of the world could use you for. You can be a help. You can be a healer. You can be a teacher. You know? So the hermit wants to show him, the fool, okay, the lovers, that there's more to their spirit and their soul than what they're seeing. And now we're going to dive into this, which is the Chariot. I'm sorry, I said that already. The Wheel of Fortune. My bad. Okay, and so we have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is, things are changing. It's like, yes, it's time to grow. Even the seasons change. Nothing stays the same. And the hermit's like, yep, this is all good and gravy. This is beautiful, but we need change. The seasons change, and so do we. And again, in the picture, what do you see? You see the swords. You see the wands. You see the cups. And you see the pentacles. So here we are again, right back here. And the magician's like, okay, I got all four again. And now the universe is choosing. See, the fool chose first. He made his choices. Now the universe is guiding you and pushing you to change, to be different, to take a different path, to go a different direction. This is a completely different direction. It's karma. And in a lot of tarot, this is the hand of God. Yad-He, Vad-He in Hebrew is around the tarot. And it also represents, tarot is Rhoda, the wheel. So the will of God. So this is like your astrology chart. It's also represented as the midhaven, the 10th house, for a Capricorn card, your midhaven, your purpose. So now you're supposed to dive into your purpose. And so you're like, okay, I hope you enjoyed everything that you've tasted this far. Now it's time that you've been seeking. Remember, if you seek, you will find. If you knock, the door will open. There's a purpose. What is it? And the universe is going to give it to you. A new chance, a new opportunity, a new life. Let's see what that is. Justice. So now justice is karma. And she's like, what have you done this far? Have you done good? Have you done bad? What have you done? What judgments need to be made here? What is justice? She's here to be fair, balanced. She's an authority. And again, a lot like the High Priestess and the Hierophant. She has the two pillars of truth behind her. The yin and the yang, the yes and the no. Again, the 11, the doorway, spiritual doorway. She also has the power as above, so below. The subconscious to the conscious. She's in power. And this is obviously the sign for Libra. Okay. And so she's like, all right, let me take a look at everything. Let me see what I need you to do. She can represent a lawyer, an attorney, a judge. She represents the cutting of things, the severing, to create balance. So, she kind of comes in a lot like an older Queen of Swords. She's looking at you like, what do I need to cut out? Something needs to be cut off. There's an imbalance. So she's judging the fool's journey this far and saying, do you have too much money? Are you a little bit unjust in love? Are you giving your lover enough? Or are you giving your lover too much? Are you following your soul path? Are you doing your purpose? Are you controlling? Are you a pushover? Are you taking in on knowledge of the universe, or are you not? Are you pushing away spirituality? Are you being a good parent? Are you not? Are you being a good steward of your money? Are you not? Are you keeping your contracts fair and balanced? Are you not? What are you doing that is right and just? So she's judging the fool now. She's saying, I'm going to look at what you've done this far and see how you've handled things. If you haven't handled things the way you should, if something comes off unbalanced, I'm going to have to cut it off. I'm going to have to bring balance to restore the natural flow of this natural flow of the tarot, the yin and the yang, the yes and the no, the DM, the DF, this perfect balance of energy. She's like, if something's off balance, I'm coming in to cut it out. Very much like the Queen of Swords. I'm going to cut out, I'm sorry, what doesn't serve you. It's gone. Consider it gone. Okay, and that's what justice does. She's not here to see what you care most about. She's not here to see what you love. She's not here to take sides. Okay, listening to stories. She's here to say what is right, what is wrong, what is up and what is down, and what needs to be left and what needs to be cut off, period. She doesn't have a lot of feelings behind that. And that is why Libra tends to not have a lot of feelings the way they speak. You know, I love a Libra, so I'm not, I love lots of Libras. I'm not trying to judge Libras. I'm just saying sometimes Libras can come off that way. Like they say things that are true and honest, but they sure do hurt. But most of the time it's the truth. May not come out very nice, but it's the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts. And so justice is here to say just that. Guess what? The truth hurts. You may not want to hear it, but it's going to happen, with or without you. So let's see what's going on here. The next one is the Hanged Man. So now you have to be hung upside down, because I almost feel like the Hanged Man's arguing with justice, saying, hey, I like everything I have. I like everything I've brought into my life. Everything's fine. Why are you judging me? Why are you telling me what I need to cut off? No. I love everything that I have in my life. I don't want to let go of anything. And justice is like, okay, here's your sentence. I'm going to hang you upside down till you figure this out. You have to get a different perspective. You're not seeing things clearly. Now, and when we talked about the Fool, these are just my interpretations. Remember, the Fool is jumping from the light to the dark, or the dark to the light, however you want to see it. But it's the subconscious to the conscious. So he's upright. He took that leap. Okay, now he's coming into the 3D. And the Hanged Man is about a man, which is the Fool, that is coming from the 3D back down to the 5D, the subconscious. So it's like, okay, let's turn you around, because you're forgetting everything you learned. You're forgetting about ascension. You're forgetting about enlightenment, empathy, understanding, divine knowledge, hidden knowledge. You're not seeing things through spiritual eyes. You're seeing things through very third-dimensional, materialistic eyes. You need to see them in a different light. And so I'm going to hang you upside down, back where you came from, so you can remember. So for me as a reader, whenever you get the Hanged Man, it's like, yeah, this is a pause, this is stopping. But it's because you're getting a message. And that's why there's a raven with the pentacle here. He's trying to give you a fresh start and a new beginning. He's trying to give you a message. He's saying, hey, wake up. Wake up. This is a wake-up call. You got to wake up. You're not seeing things clearly. This is justice. I know you don't like it, but it's for your best good. You have to see things differently so you can accept them. Because if you're going to fight the universe, you're stalling. And that's why the Hanged Man is here. Because the Fool is stalling progression. Because he's fighting justice and the Wheel of Fortune. Fighting what the universe is trying to show and provide and give. Giving the pentacle is a new beginning. So he's like, stop fighting this. You need to look at this differently. I don't know what to tell you. So I guess you have to pause. Everything's at a halt. You're not going to gain anything. You're not going to lose anything. It's just very stagnant. Okay? But it's a wake-up call. And it is looking at things differently. Gosh, I hope I'm not coming down with something. Like Matthew. Okay. The next card is Death. And that's why he comes after the Hangman. Okay. So now that the Hanged Man's been basically a pain in the butt, hasn't wanted to budge, okay, doesn't want to move, refusing the universal flow. Now he's going to have to sacrifice his ideals, his beliefs, his foundations, his stubbornness. And I forgot to mention, Pisces is the ruler for the Hanged Man. But for me as a reader, I also see him as Taurus. No hate, no tea, no shade, everybody. Taurus for me as a reader when I see this card, because Taurus does ground their heels in, and they don't want to budge. They don't want to budge. They want to just stay stuck right there. they've made their decision. So it does remind me of Taurus a lot, okay? And so anyways, death is here, Scorpio energy. Death is always Scorpio, the sign for transformation. And this feels like a poison. This feels like, obviously it feels like death. For a lot of tarot card readers, it's literal death. Sometimes, the people that used to read tarot took it very seriously. If you saw this card, they would think maybe someone died or someone may die. A very serious card. But if you look at it through different eyes, you can see this as transformation. The 8th house is about rebirth and spiritual enlightenment. And so you have to die to self. Death comes for everyone. And so now the Fool is dying. Now the Fool must die. The Fool must die to self to transform and become something different. And death doesn't miss anyone. So there's one thing you can be sure of in this life, and it's we're all going to meet the Grim Reaper. We're all going to meet death. We can't get away around it. We will meet it, and we can either fight it or embrace it and transform. Let it transform us. So death comes in as a strength. It comes in as a sadness, and there is grieving, and there is pain and a loss. But the end is here. So death represents the ending of a hardship, the ending of a hard time. Okay? He's all right, guys. He's been coughing all day. Okay, so let's keep going. We have Temperance, and yes, he's had medicine. Anyways, so this is Sagittarius energy, and this represents the Archangel Raphael. Again, mending the hearts. The 2 cups, the cups of love. This is the first card that will foresee the bringing together of love. What goes down must come up, right? What dies must be brought back to life. So Temperance is here. And she's just like, look, we got through a very difficult time. Obviously, this included grief, mourning, crying, tears, and anger. It also had resentment. It had pain involved that needs healing, recovery. So Temperance is like, I'm going to come heal your heart, okay? Yes, we're grieving. I'm an angel. Whatever dies will come back to life. I'm going to blend your energies together again so you can be whole again, so you can be one again, so you can overcome the hardship. I'm going to blend this. I'm going to fix this. Okay, and I like it because Water Baby Tarot, I forgot her name, but she likes to call it her Fix-It Angel. I think that's a really cute interpretation, the Fix-It Angel. So she comes to fix all the negative energies, all the toxicity, all the pain, all the resentment. She's here to fix all that and make it all better. She's surrounded by beautiful nature and a rainbow usually. Okay, and her foot is one part in the water and the other part on the earth. And a lot like the Star card, but she represents subconscious. Again, you see how this subconscious, conscious, masculine, feminine keeps going throughout the tarot, this yin and yang energy. Here she is again. Yin and yang energy. Subconscious, conscious. The earth represents conscious. The water represents the subconscious. So she's half in, half out. Very balanced. 50-50. And again, masculine, feminine. Just reminiscent of all the other major arcanas. Very balanced. So she's bringing you guys together from a hardship. And she is ensuring that there will be balance restored in your life. And she's making promises to the Justice card saying, look, I got this. Let me heal and blend this energy. I know that you have your sword. You see, justice doesn't come to be nice. Justice comes to cut, to sever. Okay, through gentle love. Okay, through emotions and through spirituality, through prayers and through faith. She's going to bring balance. She's not cutting things out and saying this has to go and this has to go. She is blending gently in and out the flow of subconscious and conscious, spirituality and not. Just hot and cold, yin and yang, up and down. Just let me balance. Let me get it perfect. I've almost got it. I've almost got it. It takes this angel time, but she gets it. She gets it. She gets it right. And it's beautiful. She promises that you will. The rainbow represents the promise after the flood that God would never flood the world again. And the rainbow coming in represents the promise that you're not going to suffer like that again. I'm coming to heal you and restore you. I'm not going to tear you down again. So it's a promise. And also the rainbow represents balance of the chakras, balancing of the soul. In my tarot deck, when I pulled out the Temperance card, I had Buddha, a little statue, by water with a little candle, and meditation and self-reflection. It takes a lot of time to meditate like that, sometimes days, to self-reflect by the water like that and just find balance in your body and your soul. It's very time consuming to become balanced. And so, yeah, temperance represents, again, another pause, but a pause with action. It's like taking a little break. There's something getting done while you're taking a break, okay? Something's getting done, but your soul is resting. Your soul is being healed. All right, so let's keep moving. The next card is the Devil card, the shadow side. Okay, the number 15, Major Arcana. And you chained the illusion that somebody or something has control over you. And usually they say that's why there's a vice that has control over you, an addiction, a drug, alcohol addictions, because they have something over you that you can choose to let go of. You can choose to not let it overpower you. You have a choice. Just like the Lover's card, you made a choice to have a contract together. Well, the Devil card, you have a choice. You can either stay bound and stuck or not. It's up to you. So that's one definition of it. For me as a tarot card reader, the Devil card represents pain of illusion. Sometimes you see the worst in a partner. You see the ugly side of them. You see the shadow side of them. You can see how they're judgmental. You can see how they may even be abusive in some cases. You can see how they hurt themselves. You can see their laziness, their selfishness, their cold-heartedness. You see their darkness. And this can make you either stay stuck with them and be a doormat, or it can make you choose to let go. You're not bound to that partner. You're not stuck. You have a choice. Some of us on the Twin Flame journey, if you jump, I jump. Okay, so this is suffering together. The illusion that no one has the power to get out, and you don't want to run out on the other person. And there's like a third party energy that is coming here to hurt you. There's a third party energy that's coming here to cause harm to the twins' relationship, to the lovers. So it's this energy, and yes, it can be addictions, it can be vices. It can also be a karmic partner. It could be a karmic partner that you've agreed to, you've made a contract with, you've accumulated karma with, you are bound to until you pay off your justice, until you pay off your karma. You have to stay stuck in that relationship until you finish the contract you assigned to with that karmic partner. And so as twin flames, as divine soulmates, you can see that third party energy as not healthy, as something keeping you guys bound in torment, making you guys suffer. And so it's this major problem in your life, and it's something that is probably the hardest things you're going to have to do, is to get over your ego, to get over your jealousy, to get over your hate and your rage, to get over your sadness, to get over your fears. It's one of the hardest things in life you're going to have to overcome. One of the hardest things you're going to have to see is that you can love this person unconditionally, or vice, or with a partner that is not treating you the way you should be treated. It's about the choice to stand up for what is right. You're not stuck, and believing that you're not stuck. Believing that the devil does not have power over you, that light has power over the devil. So you have to believe that. You have to know that. Capricorn energy, I don't know why they assigned the devil card to Capricorn. It's kind of just one reason only, and it's the goat. Capricorn was represented by the goat. Drop my cards. Okay, seriously, I can't pick up my cards. So Capricorn, you're represented by the goat, but in Vedic astrology, Capricorn is actually represented by the alligator. Okay, so the alligator represents Capricorn, not the goat. Kind of like the Lacoste symbol, the alligator. And I think they knew that when they got Lacoste. Very expensive item. But it's about materialism. Okay, so that's another reason. It's about your career. It's about money. It's about third dimensional security. So sometimes the devil card can be represented as someone who's a little bit into materialism, a little bit too much into the world, which is a dimension. It's not the only reality. It's part of a reality, but it's not the only one. There's more. So sometimes we can get caught up in our wants and desires, and that can be a vice in itself. Our desires could overpower us. Sometimes it's sexual desire, sometimes it's porn addictions and things like that. It really gets over you. Sometimes hate can get inside you and it's so hard to get out. Sometimes jealousy can get a hold of you, and that is one hard pill to swallow, is to learn that you're jealous and say, I don't like that about myself. I need to get rid of it. So these are all things that you guys are going to be overcoming. And the twins have these choices that are very hard to make, and they'll make them. And they will not be stuck forever. Okay, so that's kind of the devil card for me. Let's see what else we have coming into the Tower. Finally, kind of like the Death card, the Tower comes in to destroy all bad foundations. Anything ugly. Like Cindy G from Tennessee always says, this foundation, this relationship was built on effing Legos. It's not stable, it's not sturdy, it's not secure. So the Tower comes down to destroy it. The Tower also represents the changing of a mind. Someone who drastically, the crown represents the head. Someone who could drastically have an enlightenment. Zeus, God, comes to speak to the mind. This is someone that has an insane dream. It's like someone that can have a dream, Scorpio energy again, that you're going to die. And all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, dear God, I don't want to die. I need to fix my health. I need to live right. I need to tell everyone I love them. I need to change my life. That's the Tower. Also that Scrooge, that Christmas Carol story, he's visited by 3 ghosts and he changes his perspective on life. That's the Tower. It's an enlightenment and an awakening, completely life altering, completely changing. It can also be represented in some tarot cards as a breakup. And here you see the 2 people jumping out of the Tower, see? You got one person there. Not really jumping, but they're being thrown out, pretty much. And it's like, out with the old. So there is shocking destruction. And it's usually the ending of a relationship. In many cases, it's also just a terrible fight. It's a separation. One person's falling on one side, one person's falling on the other. It's just a separation of minds, disagreements, arguments, fights. Energy. Thank God it's a blessing. If it's coming in to destroy an old job that's been taking advantage of you for a long time, thank God it's a blessing. But if it comes in as a separation from someone you don't want to be separated from, it hurts you. But a lot of times, Spirit, Zeus, God, the lightning knows best. And if they separate you, it's because of what comes right before the Tower, the devil. If they separate you, it's because this is unhealthy. This is a dark shadow energy. And it's not going to take you into the future. It's not balanced. It's not healthy. It's not good. And you need to overcome it, And so here, it's just like, wake up. Wake up. One more time. Just like this hanged man. And the devil got to heal. This is a very difficult time for the Fool. Not only does he have to go through a death and transformation and wake up, then he has to heal and recover from that. And then the Fool has to go through a shadow side, a self-reflection, which is, God, painful. You guys know how fun it is looking at yourself, making judgments for yourself, making decisions, and then taking out what doesn't serve you. Difficult. So the Fool here is making some very tough decisions. And right here, the Fool says, well, I'm finally learning that sometimes there's divine intervention. Death and the Tower are inevitable. They're spiritual. They're from above. They're angelic. They're higher dimensional.
and I can't avoid those energies. It's all part of the justice. It's